morning. So today I am going to teach you electrochemical cell. So our topic is electrochemical cell. Okay. But before discussing this topic, we will be discussing one we say activity. Okay, or one small experiment. What is this? Take one container and in this container just fill aqueous solution of copper sulfate. So here copper sulfate, which is aqueous, is filled in this container. Now just insert one rod, okay, which is made up of zinc. So we will say insert one zinc rod here in this container. Okay, this is zinc rod. Say this is zinc rod. Okay, so what happened? Actually, you know, copper sulfate, it is blue in color. Copper sulfate is blue in color. Okay, and it is an electrolyte which is dissolved in water, or we will say it is aqueous copper sulfate. So some observation was noticed, okay, and these observations I am going to write here. Observation okay. First observation was mass of zinc or weight of zinc got reduced. Weight or means decrease in weight of zinc was simply means it lost its this much mass. Okay, so we will say first observation was decrease in weight of zinc. Okay, second observation was blue color of copper sulfate. Blue color of CuSO4 got disappeared. Third observation was a red color precipitate was formed. A red colored precipitate PPT was formed. And fourth observation was when one thermometer was applied, say it is thermometer, then increase in temperature was noticed. Getting this? Simply, it is a container, and in this container, copper sulfate, which is aqueous, some water is added in this, okay, was kept, and one zinc rod was inserted in this electrolyte. Then, after some times, it was observed that mass of or weight of this zinc was reduced. Okay, decrease in weight of zinc was noticed. So some of the portion of zinc, we will say, disappeared. And Second, we will say copper sulfate is blue. So blue color of copper sulfate got disappeared. Second, we say observation. Third observation, a red colored precipitate was formed. Third observation is the red colored, say here it is, a red colored precipitate was formed. Say it is red colored precipitate. And finally, increase in temperature was noticed. It was observed that there is change in temperature and heat is being released in this process. So, it was concluded from the observations that as we inserted zinc in copper sulfate, this zinc changed into Zn2 plus ion, by releasing 2 electrons from it. So we will say here oxidation of zinc is taking place. We will say oxidation of zinc took place. Okay. Copper sulfate CuSO4, and we know if it is an electrolyte, when it will be dissolved in water, then it will be ionized or dissociate. So copper sulfate dissociates, copper sulfate aqueous it is, and it dissociates into Cu2 plus aqueous plus SO4 2 minus aqueous. Okay, and the electron which was released by zinc, okay, this 2 electron here, okay, is used by this copper 2 plus, and this copper 2 plus Cu2 plus aqueous accepted 2 electron which was released by zinc and formed copper which is solid. And this copper which is solid is of red color, not exactly red, but we can say it is of red color. So many different shades are in red color. Okay, so just we are taking it to be red. Okay, so it is written here, a red colored precipitate was formed. A red colored precipitate was formed. What was this red colored precipitate? It was copper. It was copper which is solid. Again it is written here, blue color of copper sulfate got disappeared. Blue color of copper sulfate is due to Cu2 plus ion. Due to this copper Cu2 plus ion. Okay, this is responsible for blue color of copper sulfate. So you can clearly see this Cu2 plus, which is responsible for blue color of copper sulfate, is accepting 2 electron and it is getting reduced to form red color precipitate, that is copper. So we say here reduction of copper 2 plus is taking place, and that's why what happened, blue color of copper sulfate got disappeared. Decrease in weight of zinc was noticed. Why? Zinc is oxidizing into Zn2 plus 2 electron, and these 2 electrons are being accepted by Cu2 plus ion, and in this way, okay, mass of zinc is being consumed. Okay, so this point it is okay, this point is okay, this point is okay. Come to final point, increase in temperature was noticed. How? Because this, here you can see now, here it is oxidation is taking place, here oxidation is taking place, and here it is reduction is taking place. So we know if oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously in a reaction, then the reaction is called as redox reaction. So we will say here redox reaction is taking place. Redox reaction is taking place. And this redox reaction here is direct redox reaction. It is here direct redox reaction. Direct redox reaction. Why it is called as direct redox reaction? because you can see now, you can see here, just in the electrolyte zinc is inserted, so they are in direct contact now. So here we will say the oxidation, sorry, the reduction and oxidation means redox reaction taking place is direct redox reaction. And here delta G is less than 0, means this is spontaneous. Delta G is less than 0, which shows the redox reaction taking place is spontaneous. And since delta G is less than 0 here and it is spontaneous, so heat is being released here. So heat is being released here. Getting this? So heat is being released here. Okay. So from this small experiment, the scientist came to conclude that here heat is being released and just it is being wasted now. This heat which is released by this reaction is being wasted. We are not able to use this heat. So the scientist decided to use this heat, and to use this heat, here chemical reaction is taking place, and during the chemical reaction, the energy is being converted into heat energy, and scientists thought to change this heat energy into electrical energy. Okay, and from this concept of electrochemical cell was developed. How? So just try to understand. At first, what is electrochemical cell? It is also called as galvanic cell. Electrochemical cell is also called as galvanic cell, and it is also called as voltaic cell. So if it is written electrochemical cell or galvanic cell or voltaic cell, then all of these three are same. Electrochemical cell is also called as galvanic cell, it is also called as voltaic cell. Okay, so we will try to understand what is this. So I have told you about direct redox reaction. I have told you about direct redox reaction in previous experiment. Means when oxidizing agent and reducing agent are in direct contact. What is direct redox reaction? When oxidizing agent and reducing agent are in direct contact. In previous experiment, we have seen zinc was oxidizing agent, copper sulfate. Here copper was accepting electron and zinc was reducing agent here, and copper was oxidizing agent here, and both were kept in same container. So they were in direct contact. So we told it is a direct redox reaction. Now just try to understand indirect redox reaction. Then we will come to understand electrochemical cell. Okay, so it is indirect redox reaction. In indirect redox reaction, oxidizing agent in indirect redox reaction, the oxidizing agent and the reducing agent separated by physical means, are separated by physical means in this time oxidizing agent and reducing agent are not in direct contact. They are separated by some physical means. Okay, so we will try to understand how it is separated. Okay, at first we will just define now electrochemical cell. What is electrochemical cell? In electrochemical cell, the oxidizing agent and the reducing agent are separated by physical means by physical means, and the flow of electrons takes place via external circuit. Okay. In electrochemical cell, the oxidizing agent and the reducing agent are separated by physical means, and the flow of electrons takes place via external circuits. Okay, and the decrease in free energy, appears as electrical energy. Getting this? The decrease in free energy appears as the electrical energy. Okay, this is what? This is electrochemical cell. Now we will just try to understand its construction and working. Okay, so in this we are going to discuss Daniell cell. And don't get confused. Daniell cell is simply a type of electrochemical cell or galvanic cell or voltaic cell. Getting this? What is Daniell cell? Daniell cell is a type of electrochemical cell, and I told you electrochemical cell or galvanic cell or voltaic cell all are same. So we will be understanding Daniell cell here, which is a type of electrochemical cell. So we will try to understand electrochemical cell using Daniell cell. Okay, so it is Daniell cell. In Daniell cell, we have two separate containers. Means this time we are going to perform indirect redox reaction. Both are placed separately. Okay. But before discussing this, I want to make clear one thing, one point. Means there are two types of half reaction. There are two types of half reaction. One is called as reduction half reaction. Reduction half reaction. And other is called as oxidation half reaction. Oxidation half reaction. For example, it is Zn plus HCl aqueous. Okay, it is Zn plus HCl aqueous. So we know HCl aqueous, it will break into H plus aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous. Okay, so we have two things, Zn, H plus here. What happens? Zn loses 2 electrons to Zn loses 2 electrons, okay, to form Zn2 plus ion, and this H plus aqueous accepts these 2 electron released by Zn2 plus to form H2 gas. Now you can see 2 electron get cancelled. So it will Zn plus H plus aqueous. Here it is 2H plus. Zn plus 2H plus aqueous to Zn2 plus H2 gas. Okay. So this is called as what? Zn is releasing electron, means oxidation is taking place. So this is one. This one is oxidation half reaction. This is oxidation half reaction. And this is accepting electron, means reduction is taking place. So this is reduction half reaction. Reduction half reaction. So there is two things, reduction half reaction and oxidation half reaction. Okay. Now we will be understanding this Daniell cell. So in this Daniell cell, say here in first container ZnSO4 aqueous is taken. ZnSO4 aqueous is taken. Here in this container, copper sulfate is CuSO4 copper sulfate aqueous is filled. Let me fill ink. Sorry for disturbance. Okay, so in first container we used ZnSO4 aqueous, in second container we used copper sulfate aqueous. Okay, and in this we are inserting one zinc rod. This is zinc rod. Here we are inserting copper rod. Okay, it is copper rod. Getting this? Here it is copper sulfate aqueous, here it is zinc sulfate aqueous. In zinc sulfate aqueous we have added zinc rod, and in copper sulfate aqueous we have added copper rod. Okay. Now this zinc will release 2 electrons as we are discussing. So Zn will convert into Zn2 plus 2 electrons. Means oxidation will be taking here. Oxidation of zinc is taking here. Okay. Is coming into the electrolyte. This Zn2 plus is coming into the electrolyte. It's coming into the electrolyte. And these electrons are coming to the rod. Zinc rod. Okay, getting this now? So what will happen? Concentration of electron on this zinc rod will be increased. Okay, will be increased. And when this zinc rod and this copper rod is connected through a metallic wire. I am connecting this with a wire, and say here a voltmeter is used. 1 voltmeter is connected here. Okay. One bulb is also connected here, say. Okay. So when we connected these two, zinc rod and copper rod, through metallic wire, then what happened? These electrons which were in excess present on this zinc rod, okay, started traveling through metallic wire, okay, onto this copper rod. Again here it is copper sulfate. So copper sulfate breaks as Cu2 plus Cu2 plus, here it is aqueous, Cu2 plus aqueous plus SO4 2 minus aqueous. We know this, it is aqueous now, so it will break down. Means here it is having copper 2 plus aqueous. So these electrons which are coming from this container, okay, will be accepted by Cu2 plus, accepted by Cu2 plus aqueous, this, and it will form copper. So what will happen? Here extra copper is, we will say, forming. So mass of copper here is increasing, and at the same time mass of zinc is decreasing here. Mass of zinc is decreasing here. Clear? Now just try to understand what will happen. Electrons are flowing in this direction. So current which will be opposite in direction of electron, okay, will take place. So current in this direction. This is direction of current. Okay, takes place. Getting this or not? So movement of electrons, okay, is in this direction and current is flowing in the opposite direction. We know conventionally. conventionally. Okay, but just try to understand what will happen. This zinc will be converting into Zn2 plus and 2 electrons are being released. So this Zn2 plus ion I told you is coming into this electrolyte. So what will happen after some time, concentration of Zn2 plus will be very high, will be means concentration of Zn2 plus in this Zn SO4 will be more after some times, because Zn2 plus okay is coming into this electrolyte only. Okay. And when Zn2 plus will be more here, means positive charge is more here, means it will form positive. It will form positive. Okay. And here this copper sulfate is breaking into Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus, Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus. And this copper 2 plus is accepting electron coming from this container and getting converted into copper. So you can see here minus charge is increasing here because plus charge is getting neutralized by accepting electron. So concentration of SO4 2 minus is increasing here, which is minus. So it will get negative. It will get negative. Getting this or not? It will get positive and it will get negative. This is one thing. Then second thing, if concentration of Zn2 plus ion will be more here, then this Zn2 plus will oppose the transfer of electron from this container to this container, because it is positively charged and electron is negatively charged. So this Zn2 plus will oppose the flow of electron. It will start attracting these electrons. Getting this? And at the same time here negative charge is increased, so it will repel the electron coming from the other container. Means after some time this reaction is going to stop. After some time no electron will be flowing from this container to this container, and here the current which was produced due to the flow of electron will be stopped. So to avoid this, to get continuous current, okay, a salt bridge is connected here. Very important concept. A salt bridge is connected here. I will tell you what is salt bridge, but at first I am going to draw a salt bridge. It is a salt bridge. It is a salt bridge. We will be discussing salt bridge after some time. Just for this time we will understand function of salt bridge. This salt bridge, suppose here KCl is present in this salt bridge. KCl which is electrolyte. KCl is also an electrolyte, and we know if it is KCl, then KCl will decompose into K plus aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous. Getting this? And I told you here concentration of plus charge is more, here concentration of minus charge is more. So this salt bridge, okay, will simply, it is having KCl will break into K plus and Cl minus. So Cl minus will be flow, Cl minus ion will start flowing, Cl minus ion will start flowing in this container, and K plus ion will start flowing in this container. Is it clear? Initially concentration of Zn2 plus was more here, means concentration of positive charge was more here. So if Cl minus will come here, then plus charge will be encountered by minus charge, means it will come back to its normal position. Here I told you negative concentration is more, negative charge is more here. So K plus will come here. So K plus and negative plus minus both will get neutralized. So what will happen? Now again electrons will start flowing. Electrons will start flowing and current will start flowing, means we will get electricity. Is it clear? So salt bridge plays very important role. I will tell you what is salt bridge, but for this time you have just understand this. Okay. Now I told you there are two half cycles. One is oxidation half cycle, other is reduction half cycle. So come to this side. Here Zn is converting into Zn2 plus 2 electron, means electrons are being released by Zn, and if electrons gets releases, means it is called as oxidation. So this is called as what? This is called as oxidation half cycle. Okay, or oxidation cell, oxidation half cell. I told you here it is positive, so it is also called as positive half cell. Okay, now most of the time you will see oxidation half cell is present in the left side, so it is also called as left half cell. It is also called as left half cell. Okay, getting this? So means to remember this, there is one shortcut, and this shortcut is LOAN. This shortcut is LOAN, L-O-A-N. L stands for left, O stands for oxidation. Okay, left oxidation. Here this A is anode. Getting this? So we will say it is anode half cell also. And in the same way we will say this to be reduction half cell, just opposite now. Reduction half cell, then it will be negative half cell, then it will be right half cell, then it will be cathode half cell. So this is called as cathode, this is anode, and this is cathode here. And cathode is taken as positive here, anode is taken as negative here. So sorry. It is also called as negative half cell. Sorry, it is negative. It is negative half cell. Negative half cell. And it is positive half cell. Because it is anode, and anode is taken as negative. It is cathode is taken as positive, so it is positive half cell. So I was telling you, it is LOAN now. So L stands for left half cell. O stands for oxidation, oxidation half cell. Okay. A stands for anode half cell, and N stands for negative half cell. So to remember all these names, you can simply remember lone, LOAN. L stands for left half cell. It is also known as left half cell. O stands for oxidation half cell. A stands for anode half cell. N stands for negative half cell. In this case, it will be reduction half cell, positive half cell, right half cell, or cathode half cell. Getting this? So don't get confused. I know during electrolysis you have you have studied that anode is positive and cathode is negative. Okay, I know this, but that was in case of electrolysis. In case of electrolysis, anode is treated as positive and cathode is treated as negative. But this is electrochemical cell, and in electrochemical cell, anode is treated as negative and cathode is treated as positive. There is difference, so don't get confused. Okay. So this is all about the anneal cell or electrochemical cell. Okay. So in this salt bridge plays very important role. Salt bridge plays very important role. Okay. And in this way, I think it will be very clear to you now. Now come to salt bridge. What is salt bridge? It is inverted U-shaped glass tube. It is inverted U-shaped glass tube. Inverted U-shaped glass tube. Just remember, like this, na? That time I drawn this like this. Inverted. This is U-shaped. This is inverted U-shaped. Okay. So it is inverted U-shaped glass tube in which thick, or simply say in which an electrolyte is filled in agar solution. Getting this? What is salt bridge? Salt bridge is an inverted U-shaped glass tube, in which an electrolyte means here salt solution. Electrolyte here means it is salt solution, in which an salt solution, which is also electrolyte. So better to write in which salt solution is filled in agar solution. What is this agar solution? Agar solution. Agar also, it is also called as simply agar. You can say agar or agar only. So it is present in solution. Also it is present as powder. So agar powder or agar solution or agar solution. Okay. So what is agar solution? It is jelly like. It is jelly like substance obtained from algae, red algae. Okay. So salt bridge is clear. Salt bridge is simply inverted U-shaped glass tube in which salt solution, certain salt solution, okay, mixed in agar solution is filled. Getting this? And the salt solution which we used is different for different electrolytes. Getting this or not? So we will be discussing salt bridge in much more detail, okay, in our next video. There I will tell you which kind of salt bridge, okay, or which kind of salt solution to be used in different salt bridge, in different electrolytes. Otherwise, what will be possible effect, okay, of using particular salt solution. Okay, getting this? So we will be discussing this in much more detail in our next video. Thank you.